There was a tiger, great, big, beautiful tiger. And did he know that he was a beautiful tiger? He was an arrogant alpha tiger. The tiger owned the forest because he was a tiger. One day he was strutting through the forest, just wandering around, enjoying his glory. And he could hear the sounds of a chickadee up in the tree. So he thought, and he listened, and he looked up in the tree, and there's this little chickadee. You know what chickadees are like. They're nervy little creatures, aren't they? They'll come right up to you, buzz you if you're not at the feeder fast enough. So the chickadee's up there she is dancing around. And he says, looks up and he says, "You puny thing, what good are you? Look at me, how big, powerful, beautiful I am. There's nothing that you could do that I couldn't possibly do better." She looked down and she said, "Perhaps, can you do this?" And she just began to flip from one branch to another. Well, he was furious that she would think that she could do anything better than him, so he tore up the tree and leapt out onto the branch where she was. So, of course, she flew away, and he went, and instead of landing on the branch, he broke it. He fell down and broke all the other branches and landed thud on the ground. But he was a tiger, big, beautiful tiger, alpha tiger. So in a few seconds, he was up and back on his way. And he came to a clearing in the forest, and there's a field. On the other side of the field, there's a bunch of people working with tools, rakes and hoes and shovels, and they seem to be digging. And he thinks to himself, "What are you doing? This is my territory." So he tore across the field. Those people weren't very happy to see the tiger. So they sat on him with their tools. And after just a few minutes, it was getting pretty painful for him to stay, so he left. But he's a tiger, beautiful tiger. He kept on his journey, and after a few minutes, he was back to his glorious, wonderful self, until he came to a pond. And there on the pond was a lily pad. And on the lily pad was a tiny wee snail, just hardly moving, slowly moving across the lily pad. "You puny little creatures, what good are you? You're a snail. There's nothing on earth you could possibly do that I can't do 1,000 times better." The snail stopped and paused and said, "Perhaps, but can you do this?" And she just continued to slowly move across the lily pad. Of course, he got angry and he jumped in the water, and we know what happened. He began to sink and splash and began to choke because of all the water rushing in. And the snail just continued sliding on the lily pad, looked over at him. Talking is one thing, doing is another. You have an opportunity to do over the next year. The best part of your next year and the most important part of your next year is the next 3 months. How you organize and think about what you're doing and the work you do to get ready for the year is the most important time.